History of the pre-tribulation rapture doctrine. The pre-tribulation rapture of the church is not a new concept, but was teaching that came directly from the apostles themselves. This is a list that will begin for 1830, turn all the way back to 1st century AD. 1792, Thomas Scott taught the righteous will be carried to heaven, where they will be secured until the time of judgment is over. 1763, James McKnight also taught that the righteous will be carried to heaven before they will secure until the time of judgment is over. 1748, John McGill wrote a commentary on the New Testament, teaches the imminent return of Christ, firstly in the rapture, and he will be returned again to judge the earth at Armageddon. 1744, Morgan Edwards, founder of the Ivy League School, Brown University, wrote his pre-tribulation rapture beliefs. 1738, Philip Doddridge, commentary on the New Testament about imminent return of Christ. 1687, Peter Giroux wrote Approaching Deliverance of the Church, taught about the imminent return of Christ. 1748, I.C. Watt, known as the father of the English hymn, wrote of this pre-tribulation rapture belief. 1674, Thomas Collier make reference to the pre-tribulation rapture of the church. The following wrote of the pre-tribulation rapture of the church, even though they were part of the Catholic Church being formed at the time. 430 AD, Augustine, Bishop of North Africa. 373 AD, Nephrim of Nisibis. 204 AD, Victorius, Bishop of Toul. 258 AD, Cyprian. 236 AD, Hippolytus of Rome. 202 AD, Irenaeus wrote Against the Heresies, a 15th chapter book against heretical teachings. 108 AD, Ignatius Antioch, the third bishop, patriarch of Antioch. He was a student of John the Apostle. His letters of extra-biblical works included the imminent return of Christ, the letter to the Ephesians, the Magnesians, Trallians, Romans, Philadelphians, Smyrnians. He wrote a letter to Polycarp, bishop of Rome, who was later martyred because of teachings called heresies, like his pre-tribulation rapture of the church doctrine. 99 AD, Clement of Rome wrote a letter to the Corinthians, also known as I. Clement, that talked about the pre-tribulation rapture of the church. Jesus Christ himself taught it. Matthew 24, 36 through 51. The good and evil servant is about those that are at the last are talking about rapture doctrine. The faithful servant is talking about giving meat in due season. And the evil servant talks about delaying his master's delay that's coming. And about he'll smite and argue with his fellow servants, and he'll drink with the drunk. In other words, he's teaching against this, and because of this, he's damned to hell. He also tells us in Mark 13, 32 through 37, to be working for his kingdom for when he comes, and no one knows the day or the hour. Luke 21, 34 through 36, consider ourselves counted worthy to go up before the wrath of God comes on this earth. And he also talks in parables of 10 virgins, talents, marriage feast, testing of servants, great supper, 10 pounds. So Christ himself started the pre-tribulation rapture doctrine. God bless.